So sorry, is this seat taken? Okay, thank you. Table for one, right? Hello, I'm Walton Goggins, and this is the Wired Autocomplete interview. Okay. Where did Walton Goggins grow up? I grew up in a little bitty town called Lithia Springs, which is about 20 minutes outside of Atlanta, Georgia. It's a beautiful little town. It only had one stop sign, and nobody else is from there but me. Does Walton Goggins really have a Southern accent? I do have a Southern accent, you know, because I'm from the South. So I speak like the other people speak that I grew up with. I can change it. I can't really do many accents. I mean, I can do Southern accent, and I can just do one that has just a slight Southern accent to it. That's about it. It's the only range I have. Walton Goggins looks like Jim Morrison. Thank you. Really? Jim Morrison, if he had teeth this big. I'll take it. Last one, Walton Goggins. Photography. Oh, I like taking photos. I like traveling. And I like taking pictures of the people that I meet along the way. So photography for me is a really big deal. It's the way I document my experiences. Check this out. Next, this guy, is he in the Union? What is Walton Goggins best known for? Well, it depends on who you ask, right? I like to think clogging, but most people would disagree. Maybe the Hateful Eight, maybe the Shield, maybe Justified, maybe Vice Principals, maybe the Righteous Gemstones, but right now, it's for Fallout. Okay, Walton Goggins, upcoming projects, Fallout, Season 2. Oh, and I am currently doing the White Lotus Season 3. How about that? Unbelievable, we're filming it down in Thailand. Walton Goggins, Quentin Tarantino. Ooh, how about that? When I was a little kid, I never thought I would see this name next to this name. I worked with Quentin 2 times on Django Unchained and The Hateful Eight, and he is my favorite filmmaker. Living or deceased, thank God he's still living. My favorite. Okay, Walton Goggins, Western movies. I've been in a few of those. I love Western movies. I love watching Western movies. My son was 11 years old when we really started introducing him to a lot of different films. And the Western genre was the first one that we started with, like The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, Rio Bravo, Stagecoach, and all the rest of them. And he loves the Westerns as much as I do. Sergio Leone, I love you. Oh, one fun fact, Ennio Morricone, you know, the great guy who won the Academy Award, who did all of Leone's films, I got to record with him at Abbey Road in London. How about that? Can Walton Goggins sing? You know, the greatest compliment I've ever been given, true story, was Walton Goggins can sing well enough to believe that he would never make it as a singer. True story. Can Walton Goggins clog? Yeah. If this was a full shot, I would clog for you here, but it's not, so I can't. Just trust that these feet were made for clogging. Because my mother was a clogger, and she got me into a clogging class, believe it or not. That was a thing in Lithia Springs, Georgia, where I'm from. And she did it because my mom loves to dance, and she wanted me to dance with her. So I learned how to clog, but I also learned how to bop. And bopping is the Florida version of the North Carolina shag. It's super cool. You know what else my mom taught me that's not on this list? She taught me how to two-step, and I'm a mean two-stepper. Walton Goggins, Misbehavin'. Yes, this is a song that I sang with Jennifer Nettles in season 1 of The Righteous Gemstones. The thing that I had going for me was singing it with Jennifer Nettles. They boosted all of the lines that she sang, and they brought all the lines that I sang down. You know what? Maybe you know this lyric. Running through the house with a pickle in my mouth? Thank you. Wow, God, you should do this for a living. It's extraordinary. Is Walton Goggins a bad guy in Fallout? Oh, a great question. The thing that I love about doing Fallout so much is it was architected in a way that the antagonist becomes the protagonist that may also become the antagonist again. And I would say that that applies to everybody that's in the show. It takes a lot of energy to survive in the wasteland. And sometimes you got to be a good guy, and sometimes you got to be a bad guy. Is Walton Goggins a nice guy? Yes, I am. I'm the nicest guy. Where's the next card, man? Just kidding. Can I cuss? I don't even know if I can cuss. Okay, is Walton Goggins, wow, this is a long piece of tape. This is scaring me. Coming back to Justified. I would absolutely love to come back to Justified. So would Tim Oliphant. And I know FX would like to have Justified back on the air. It's just a matter of timing. Next card! Man. Thank God you're not in the union. When does Walton Goggins appear in Righteous Gemstones? Oh, okay, that's a very good question. Episode 3, Season 1. And I appear in the Righteous Gemstones in a bathtub for the very first time. And I stand up and I am naked in that bathtub. It wasn't my actual body and it wasn't my anatomy. It was a 78-year-old stand-in that they flew in from Chicago. I got a call after the first, that episode appeared, and a really good friend of mine said, "My God, your body looks so good, Walton." What? It's not my body, that's a 78-year-old stand-in. Next, Walton Goggins, Vice Principals. That was literally one of the greatest experiences of my life. Honesty check. Walton Goggins on The Shield. Let's segue into a drama. Again, another one of the greatest experiences of my life. We filmed it in Los Angeles. Michael Chiklis and Kenny Johnson are still some of my best friends today. We did The Shield over 7 years. It totaled 84 hours of television. The Sopranos were on at the same time that we were, but no actor had been given the opportunity to play the same character in a serialized format for 84 hours. We had no idea that we were astronauts kind of in this world, if you will. And when we shot the pilot, no one had any idea that 7 years later we would be ending this story, having explored every aspect of their psychology, if you will. It was and will remain one of the greatest experiences of my life. Next! Thank you. Walton Goggins. Hey, I know him. Walton Goggins, Venus Van Dam. Oh, now this is my girl, Venus Van Dam. Kurt Sutter, the writer of Sons of Anarchy, was one of the main writers on The Shield. A very, very dear friend of mine. And the truth is, this is a true story, he did an interview where he said that the only two people that I could never have on my show are Michael Chiklis and Walton Goggins, because no one could ever see them as anything but their characters on The Shield. Someone sent this article to me, I read it, I forwarded it to Kurt Sutter, and I said, "F you, man, I wouldn't do your show anyway." True story. I said the only way that I would do your show is if I played a transgender. 2 years later, he sent me a text and he said, "Were you serious?" And I said, "About what?" He said, "About playing a transgender." And I said, "Do you have pages?" He said, "Yes." He sent them. I read them, and it was one of the greatest things that I had ever read, and it made me laugh and it broke my heart. And so I bought a pair of high heels while we were doing Django Unchained, and I walked the streets of New Orleans after rap at like midnight every night for the better part of a month, just to get used to it. If you can walk on high heels on cobblestone streets, you can walk in them anywhere. I don't feel like I did that show, because it took 4.5 hours to get made up. I would come very early in the morning, and no one, out of respect for me and deference to Venus, no one ever saw that transition except the people that were working on it. Charlie and Kim and all the boys on the show only ever met me as Venus Van Dam. We had been friends for years before that, but they never talked to me as Walton. They only referred to me as Venus, and they treated me like the lady that I was. It will remain also one of the greatest experiences of my life. Walton Goggins, White Lotus. Let me just say that again. Walton Goggins, White Lotus. Season 3, filming it right now in Thailand. Mike White has a unique way in which he observes the world. He is able to articulate through dialogue an existential crisis of people that is applicable to people from all walks of life, from all of these different character voices. And the thing about Mike White, which not a lot of people know outside of the business, is he writes all of it. He does it all himself. Okay, Walton Goggins, Shanghai Noon. Yeah, I did that. There was a time in my life where I don't know if I manifested it, but I just kind of concentrated on people that I wanted to work with. And it started with Robert Duvall. And I did The Apostle with Robert Duvall about 4 months after I spent obsessing over the fact that I wanted to work with Robert Duvall. Owen Wilson, I did the same thing. Bottle Rocket was one of my favorite movies and remains this day to be one of my favorite movies. And Owen was the guy that I really wanted to work with. Lo and behold, I got a call to come in and meet with Tom Dye, the director, and got the role of this movie with Owen. And we became friends over the course of making it. And he is everything that I hoped he would be. It was a great experience. Watch this. Well, that's it. We're out of boards. I've never really thought about questions that people ask when they Google my name, but this has been illuminating in many, many ways. I hope that this satiates your curiosity. Thank you very much for Googling me.